Massive fire at a high-rise apartment building has killed at least 12 people in the British capital on Wednesday. That's according to London's Metropolitan Police. The towering inferno totally engulfed and destroyed the huge structure. A number of patients are being treated at area hospital stands at 74, including 20 people in critical care. Authorities say the number of casualties is likely to rise. More than 200 firefighters and 40 fire engines responded to the blaze at the 24-story Grenfell Tower in London's North Kensington area. The blaze broke out at around 1 a.m. local time. They found the building engulfed in flames from the second floor up. Eyewitnesses say people were heard frantically screaming for help from the burning tower and spotted at windows trying to attract the attention of rescue crews. One resident described the chaotic situation inside the building.
Yeah, there was smoke everywhere, literally everywhere. There was people downstairs, there was bits of the block, the cladding falling off the block that was on fire. People screaming after a couple of minutes, because obviously people were still sleeping on the higher floors, so they didn't have a clue what was going on. I'm not even sure if half of them got out, to be honest with you. There was kids at the window, there was people flashing their phone lights just for help, but the fire brigade couldn't get upstairs.
Well, London Fire Commissioner Danny Cotton said the cause of the fire remains unknown. The London Fire Brigade says an inspection of the burned-out building deemed it safe for crews to remain. Smoke from the burning tower could be seen billowing over the London skyline at sunrise. Now, a spokesman for the British Prime Minister Theresa May says she is deeply saddened by the tragic loss of life in the Grenfell Tower fire. For the latest details on this tragedy, let's go to VOA Europe correspondent Luis Ramirez. Now, Luis, what more can you tell us about this incident?
Well, that fire, many hours later, is still burning, and I will say that talking to people out there, the grief is rapidly turning to anger, and that's as big questions start to come up on not only how did this fire start, but why did it spread so quickly. Witnesses said that from the moment it started to when it engulfed the whole building was about 30 minutes. It took that little time for the fire to go through this 24-story tower. And so the big questions at this moment, as police are telling us that the death toll is very likely to rise, because we're talking about a situation where, as I said, the fire is still burning and rescue crews are going floor by floor, very carefully making their way up and unfortunately discovering more victims.
Now, we have heard that this is a council building, as they call it in Britain, public housing essentially, and that recently it had been kind of, the management had been outsourced to a private company. Has that become an issue?
That's one of the many questions coming up. The fact is that this building had been only recently renovated. It was built in 1973, and it was just a year ago that it underwent a $13 million renovation. That's one of the big areas of questioning, because the issue is what kind of materials were used in that renovation. A lot of the residents who managed to escape reported smelling burning plastic, and so they are asking, did some of the building materials, were they flammable? Were they fireproof? And another big question that's coming up is why were there no sprinklers? And in some cases, if there were sprinklers, why they malfunctioned. Residents also saying they didn't hear fire alarms. So these are all things that are coming into play in the investigation in the coming days. The fire commissioner saying that that investigation is going to take quite a while, and so is very careful not to draw any conclusions before then.
So as for the cause, nobody is thinking perhaps it's an act of terrorism or arson or whatever the case may be up to this point?
That could be in the back of a lot of people's minds, because, of course, London has seen acts of terrorism to the rate of 1 per month in the last 3 months. However, there is nothing to indicate, absolutely nothing to officially indicate that this could be terrorism related. The fact is, this building is a multi-ethnic community, people from all over the world living there, a very large contingent of Muslim, or a large representation of Muslim families living there, along with senior citizens and many people from various African countries as well.
A terrible tragedy. Luis, thank you very much. That's VOA Europe correspondent Luis Ramirez.